So continuing with Shantideva's my favorite verses to ponder, and these are in chapter 4 of Conscientiousness. Well, I find these hopeful and encouraging and realistic. When I promise to liberate all those beings dwelling in the 10 directions as far as the ends of space from their disturbing conceptions, I myself was not yet freed from mine. Thus unaware of even my own capacity, was it not somewhat crazy to have spoken like that? But as this is so, I must never withdraw from vanquishing my disturbing conceptions. And to do this will be my sole obsession. Holding a strong grudge, I shall meet them in battle, but disturbing conceptions such as these destroy disturbing conceptions and for the time being are not to be abandoned. So the first verse, and I promise to liberate all those beings dwelling in the 10 directions, far as the ends of space from the disturbing conceptions. I myself am not freed from mine. So every morning here, here at the Abbey, and many times during the course of the day, when we take refuge and generate bodhicitta, we're kind of like doing that. We're making this promise to liberate all sentient beings. But, it's really, for me, it's really quite contrived because I'm still cycling in cyclic existence. I'm still under the control of my afflictions and karma. So here I am on one hand saying that I have promised to liberate them, but I'm still sort of stuck in the same cycle as they are. Therefore, my abilities and my skills are really limited at this time. So thus unaware of even my own capacity to benefit, I think that perhaps I've got more capacity than I really do. Was it not somewhat crazy to have spoken like that? Because this is a huge promise, this is a huge wish and aspiration, and still kind of having my crazy mind and having all the karma that propels me from life to life, it probably was a pretty foolish thing to promise, but as this is so, then what happens here, as Shantideva says, we make this commitment never to withdraw from vanquishing our disturbing conceptions, which are binding us to cyclic existence and also preventing us from really generating this bodhicitta, this awakening mind. So one of the strategies that he says is, and to do this, it will be my sole obsession. So I'm going to be totally focused on vanquishing these afflictions, the powerful antidotes, mindfulness, introspective awareness. I'm going to just tangle with them. I'm going to meet them in battle. I'm going to resent them. I'm going to hate them. I'm going to be relentless with them. So in this respect, when we're dealing with our afflictions, and there's sometimes when my mind's really just so overwhelmed that the only thing that I can do is just try to get my mind calmed down and have compassion for myself. I've got to get some space before I can actually deal with them. They've taken me by the nose and they've dragged me through the mud before I even realize that they've got me. But if I can catch them early, a little bit later, what Shantideva says, that to be just vicious with them and to be direct with them and be just uncompromising with them and to really get them as soon as we can. He said all those things that we consider afflictive emotions, he says when you put them against the afflictive emotions themselves, he says for the time being, use them. Use that anger, use that relentlessness, use that hostility against your very own jealousy, your very own pride, the self-centered thought, the thief that steals all of our joy and keeps us so wrapped up and self-concerned and self-preoccupied. He said at times you will need to use the sword of wisdom and not be sweet and kind and, oh, how nice, just go away for a while so I can be virtuous. So he says for the time being, we can use them. Later on, once we can really, probably quite a bit longer down the path, when we've got some really single-pointed concentration, when we've attained some levels of samadhi where we can really, subdue those afflictions, and then when they arise, we catch them so quickly with our mindfulness and mental alertness, then these needs for this really powerful counteracting of them won't be as necessary. So even though we've made this promise to benefit all sentient beings to become Buddhas as quickly as we can, even though we're still cycling under the control of afflictions and karma, we must never, ever give up on trying to eliminate them from our mind streams, because they are the ignorance that propels them, the karma that's created due to them, is what keeps us bound and keeps us so limited in being able to really help sentient beings. So Shantideva says it's okay to make the promise, but don't make the promise and then just go ahead and just live your life not caring what the state of your mind is, but really be vigilant and really be conscientious about what's going on within our own minds. Anyway, I found them very helpful.